Imagine looking at a bright yellow flower. You know it's yellow, but someone you trust looks you in the eye and says, "That flower is red. Are you okay? Your eyes have been failing you lately." When you disagree, they sigh with pity and say, "This is just like the last time you forgot to lock the door. You're becoming so scattered. You should really let me handle things for you." Notice this isn't just a disagreement, it's a psychological manipulation tactic called gaslighting. It's when someone persistently negates your reality to superimpose their own until you stop trusting your own senses. A gaslighter questions your interpretation of events, denies your version, and enforces their own. In simple terms, you experience something and they try to convince you it didn't happen that way, and you should believe them because they're trying to save you from your inability to cope with the reality. The term gaslighting comes from the 1944 movie Gaslight, starring Ingrid Bergman. In the story, a husband secretly dims the gas powered lights in their home. When his wife Paula notices the flickering, he insists she is imagining it. At first, she denies it, but over time, she falls for the narrative, especially as her husband moves objects and hides her jewelry to convince her she is losing her mind. His goal is to steal her inheritance by making her believe she is too unstable to manage it. That is the essence of gaslighting. It's not just lying, it's an intentional hit to your sanity to gain control. How do you spot it? A gaslighter doesn't just tell you you're wrong, they make you feel delusional. Some specific moves used by gaslighters are: number one, countering. They make you question your memory of events even when you're sure. Example, "That's not what I said. This is what I told you. You're not thinking clearly." Number two, denial. They deny events that clearly happened. Example, "That never happened." Number three, twisting facts. They rewrite the story to fit their own version. Example, "This is the way it happened." Number four, dismissing feelings. Example, "You're always so dramatic." Number five, withholding. They refuse to engage. Example, "I'm not discussing this, you're just trying to confuse me." Number six, diverting. They change the subject to get away from the topic. Example, "This is not new, you're always so sensitive." Number seven, blaming or projecting or stereotyping. Examples, "You made me do this. You're the one who's being manipulative. You always play the victim card." And over time, you stop trusting your own judgment and start relying on theirs. Why do people gaslight? At its core, gaslighting is about control. Someone may gaslight to avoid responsibility, win arguments, maintain power in a relationship, or manipulate decisions in their favor. Not all gaslighters are consciously evil, but the behavior is still harmful because the end result is the same. You start second guessing your own experience and lose trust in yourself. Gaslighting leaves you with a brain fog. You walk away wondering if you're the one who's actually crazy. Now, you might ask, what is the difference between being genuinely concerned for someone versus gaslighting them? We all need tough love sometimes, right? Here is the litmus test. Healthy feedback sounds like, "I see it differently than you. Here is why." Or, "Hear me out and then you can decide what works best for you." Or, "Let's figure this out together." You may disagree, but you still feel heard and respected. You leave the conversation feeling like you have a path forward. You feel supported and validated. On the other hand, gaslighting sounds like you are imagining things. You always mess things up. You're always looking for a reason to start a fight. You leave feeling confused, small, doubtful of yourself. If the conversation makes you feel like you need the other person to explain reality to you, you aren't getting feedback, you are being managed. Gaslighting has taken root when your internal narrative shifts from asking what went wrong to what is wrong with me. So, how do you break the spell? If you notice gaslighting, pause. Take a step back and examine. Number one, reality check. What actually happened according to you? Number two, if this is repeated behavior, get an outside perspective. Talk to someone who's definitely in your corner. A third party lens can shatter the gaslighter's narrative instantly. 3. Look for patterns. One disagreement is normal, but a repeated cycle of self doubt is a red flag. 4. Create distance if needed. Limit how much you rely on their validation. If you're in a position where you are in close proximity, for example, a toxic boss or a toxic friend, then get support, gather resources, and find an exit strategy. Gaslighting only works when you doubt yourself. The moment you realize it's not you, it's them, the power dynamic shifts. You don't need someone else to tell you what's real. You just need the clarity to recognize when your reality is being distorted. Trust your voice, trust your memory, and stay grounded. Thanks for watching.